center, your 7-foot senior from American Fork, Utah, number 20, Isaiah Kerr.
What is up, you guys? Wowee! Did I see a heck of a game the last time UH men's basketball played, which was against North Dakota this past Friday. I know it took a little bit of time to really kind of process what I had seen there, but I have to say that had to have been another complete performance by the University of Hawaii. It started out a little rocky, but UH was able to come through the winners, as you see here, 92-55. That's right, 92-55 over the North Dakota Fighting Hawks. And this is a team that I thought might give UH a little bit of trouble, like how they did the last time they came here, which was about 2017 or 18. And they came up with a furious rally and managed to just come up short because UH was still able to turn them back. And that was a time where I really felt that UH was really going to have their hands full then, and sure enough, they did. Did I think they were going to have their hands full today? Yes, I did, because North Dakota is a team that I thought traditionally made the NCAA tournament, but as it turns out, they haven't been there since 2017 or 18, or pretty much the last season we faced off against them. But at the same time, I thought they were one of the creams of the crop in the conference that they're in. But as it turns out, UH made total mincemeat of them thanks to a 14-0 run in the first half, and they were able to cruise throughout. I'm going to get into that in a little bit, but first off, guys, remember, subscribe if you think that I'm worth listening to. Next time they play will be against Cal Davis in conference play, and then they will take on Cal State Fullerton on Saturday. And those two, I think, should be winnable games because they're on home court and they've got some good players that can really do some damage in the Big West season. And I would not doubt that we would see back-to-back weeks where a UH player is Big West Conference Player of the Week. I'm not going to doubt that at all. But in the meantime, guys, let's get into this. UH wallops North Dakota. Isaac Johnson breaks school record, 4 techs called. Now, I am going to get this out of the way first. Now, although I kind of already did, like I said earlier, I thought that North Dakota was going to prove a formidable opponent, and on any given night, they are, along with any other D2 school or D1 school that UH takes on. You really can't take them lightly, and regardless of what division they're in. But North Dakota was a team that I thought might give UH some trouble, and in the beginning, they did, because UH turned the ball over 3 times in its first 4 possessions. And from that point on, you kind of thought that maybe North Dakota was going to have an easy time of it, but turns out that was certainly not the case, because UH started out kind of sloppy, but they picked it up, and thanks to the first of what was a total of 4 technical fouls called, 4 of them. The first one went on Josh Jones of North Dakota, and that was when Isaac Johnson broke a school record that had stood for 7 years. Okay, 7 years at least.
Yeah, new record, 35.
Because the guy who set that record was former Rainbow Warrior Brocke Stepteau at 34 consecutive free throws made. Isaac Johnson was a perfect 4 for 4. He came into that game tied at 34, and he is now the new leader at 38 free throws in a row. And to be frank, I don't know if there's going to be another UH player who will end up with as many consecutive made free throws as Isaac Johnson has. And I'm going to hold out a bet that I think Isaac Johnson is going to make every single free throw for the rest of the 2025 to 26 season. The guy's a 7-footer, and fortunately, Johnson has a good stroke from the free throw line, and I look for him to make every free throw for the rest of the season. I know it's a long ways away, and we're only about halfway through, more or less, but still, I am not going to doubt that Isaac Johnson will sink every free throw for UH, home and away, for the rest of the season. It's not going to be an easy task, but if there's a man for the job, Isaac Johnson's your guy. Make no mistake about it. I am on that bandwagon that he will make every free throw, and I'm also on the bandwagon that he thinks that UH is a NCAA tournament-bound team that he told the Spectrum crew early in the season. And I'm on that bandwagon. UH is playing that good. And if they can transfer that to conference play, I would not doubt that UH will win the Big West Conference. Because it has been almost 10 years since UH has done so. But obviously recruitment plays a big role in that. And of course, UH moving to the Mountain West next season. And I'll tell you this, for UH to win the Big West regular season, that will be one hell of a turnaround after they did not qualify for the Big West tournament last season. And the one thing that they did last year that they didn't do this year, they always played really passive and would kind of pass the ball around the perimeter. And then when it gets down to 10 seconds, they get kind of rushy and think, oh, I got to put a shot up. But if there's one thing about this team that's really noticeable, they got at least 5 guys who are willing to take matters into their own hands. And I'm not talking about just Isaac Johnson. I mean, Hunter Erickson can do that. Aaron Hunkin-Clater can do that. And so can other guys like Isaac Finlinson, Isaiah Kerr, and Harry Ruliadev, just to name a few. Now, another guy that I was really surprised with tonight was Isaac Finlinson. Like I mentioned earlier, I was looking for Finlinson to really get back in the scoring column and put a big exclamation point on things after he did not score against Hilo. HPU. But I was looking for Finlinson to have a breakout game and reassure himself as a possible first guy or sixth guy on the roster, or the first guy off the bench anyway, or one of the first guys off the bench. And that was a good performance for the University of Hawaii. I would give that game an A because they were able to hit the ground running first. And although it was close, UH was able to win it by 37 points. And these are not scrappy opponents by any means. These are not lower level. These are not D2 opponents. These are not D3 opponents. These are legitimate programs that can really light it up, home or away, any given night. And UH took it to them. And when UH lost to Arizona State and to a point Oregon as well, I kind of thought that we were going to be in for kind of like a hot or cold season. But that has certainly been far from the case. UH has been lava hot this season. And North Dakota was another example of that. So, obviously, like I said, I would give that game an A. But the fact that we had 4 technical fouls called kind of stands out to me. 2 of them came on UH. One was on Bullock after he had the slam dunk and he was called for a technical for hanging on the rim. Was that a legitimate technical call? Yes and no. But frankly, I do think that maybe the refs are a little nitpicky. But Isaiah Kerr's technical foul after a three-point shot kind of had me scratching my head, unless it was something he said, which I'm not going to doubt. But still, Isaiah Kerr in his first game back went for 14 and 3 rebounds. And I thought that was a great return to action because I thought UH was probably going to hold out Isaiah Kerr until conference play came around. And I'll tell you this, if Isaiah can put up these kinds of numbers in conference play, look out. Because Isaiah Kerr is going to be a points leader at the end of a game. I guarantee it. Is he going to do it after every single game? I don't know. That's kind of hard, especially if he's coming off the bench. But I look for him to maybe have a starting job towards the tail end of the season or maybe early next year if he decides to stay. And he really should because he gives you a lot of energy. And the North Dakota game, that was one of those times. Now, another guy that I was also really impressed with was Yassine Toomey. Now, obviously last year, we had Tanner Christensen, who was really good in the paint, and to a point, Gytis Nemeikša as well. And Gytis is another guy that I was looking for big things from. And fortunately, he delivered as well. And he was the guy who kind of started that 14-0 UH run in the first half that allowed us to get back to a double-digit lead. And from that point on, UH had it their way. And if Gytis can come out and have one of his nights where he lights it up, UH is really going to be a team to look at. And I have a feeling that some of these droughts that UH has experienced with some of the front runners like Irvine and Santa Barbara are going to be relieved. Make no mistake about it, folks. This team's legit. I thought that they could do great things last year, but the fact that they just couldn't use it effectively really did them in, and it seemed like they were having so much trouble against the press. So what that tells me is that this team is going to turn some heads. And some of those teams like Santa Barbara and Irvine, their lead scorers, they better be on the lookout because something tells me that they're going to have the game taken to them or have their game taken to them when they come to their place or when they come to our place. Make no mistake. So the other technical foul for UH I mentioned was on Isaiah Kerr. I was kind of scratching my head then, but hey, it happens. And the other technical foul on North Dakota, that went on Anthony Smith III. So that was kind of like another head scratcher. I didn't get that on film, but fortunately for the Bows, North Dakota was unable to take advantage of the two technical fouls because how many free throws did they make out of 4? Only 1. Whereas in contrast, UH, after those two technical fouls that North Dakota got, they were 4 for 4 from free throw, or 3 for 4 rather, from the free throw line. Hunter Erickson was the only one who missed one. And props to Hunter Erickson as well, because he's definitely been riding the ship, especially after Tanner Cuff went down with the season-ending injury to his knee. And that was unfortunate for sure, because I look for Tanner to really put a whooping on some of these teams, and along with Hunter Erickson as well. But obviously, injuries happen, and Tanner Cuff is looking forward to playing next season. And with Tanner Cuff in the Mountain West for the roster, for UH anyway, I have a feeling that Cuff will be just as good a leader then in the Mountain West as Hunter Erickson is with us in the Big West. So only time will tell, but I am very certain that Tanner Cuff will be a legitimate leader for the UH squad next year, just like Hunter Erickson is so far this year. And of course, there is Aaron Huckenklater. Can't rule him out. I look for him to possibly be a team captain sooner or later, along with Tanner Cuff. And we'll see how UH will do when they recruit in the offseason, because with moving to another conference, usually that means recruitment will be better. And that's where I'll leave it. So anyway, guys, that's all for today. And remember, subscribe. We'll see you all likely after Cal State Fullerton, because it will be a quick turnaround with Cal Davis on December 4th and Fullerton on the 6th. And then after that, UH will return for non-conference play for 2 games, UH Hilo and UTEP, and then that'll be it for the rest of the year. Usually we'd be getting ready for the Diamond Head Classic, but that's not going to happen this year. They plan to move it to Thanksgiving week the next year, but then after that, it's officially canceled. But fortunately, UH won the DHC when they did in 2022, and good thing they did too. So thanks, guys. Subscribe. Go Bows. We'll see you all for Cal Davis on Thursday.